Hello and welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for the day. Labour Ministry increases beneficiaries for teacher preparation program. Earthquake recorded in Arabian Gulf. Oman's Housing Ministry signs pact worth 1 million Omani riyals. SpiceJet calls for 10 to 15% hike in airfares amid depreciation of rupee and rise in jet fuel prices. Monkeypox cases in Britain surpass 500. 5G soon in India to be 10 times faster than 4G. UEFA Nations League, Germany record first ever competitive victory against Italy. ICC ODI rankings, Pakistan's Imam-ul-Haq surpasses Virat Kohli and Babar Azam remains on top. Those were the headlines. Now for the local stories for the day. The Ministry of Labour decided to raise the number of beneficiaries of the Teacher Preparation and Qualification Programme, bringing the total number to 1,982, an increase of 482 male and female candidates, Oman News Agency said in a statement. An earthquake has been detected in the Arabian Gulf, the Earthquake Monitoring Center at Sultan Qaboos University said. An earthquake with a magnitude of 4.7 and at a depth of 10 kilometers has been recorded in the Arabian Gulf at 4:40 a.m. Muscat time. The earthquake was recorded 197 kilometers away from Khasab, EMC said in a statement. With an investment value of about 1 million Omani riyals, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning has signed 7 agreements in various sectors. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning signed 7 usufruct contracts with a number of private sector companies and individuals. It includes industrial, agricultural and commercial sectors and fuel filling stations and services distributed over several governorates. The investment value is about 1 million Omani riyals, Oman News Agency said in a statement. The ministry also announced a bid for 6 lands to establish integrated service stations in the various governorates of the Sultanate of Oman and located on the Al-Batana Expressway and Nisbat-Umred Salala Road within the usufruct system in order to provide basic services to road users and stimulate economic movement between governorates. Those are the local stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with the international news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update, now for the international stories. In the wake of rising prices of jet fuel and the depreciation of the Indian rupee, India's low-cost airline SpiceJet on Thursday called for 10 to 15% hikes in airfares to sustain the operation. SpiceJet Chairman and Managing Director Ajay Singh on Thursday said there is no option left other than to hike airfare by 10 to 15% to meet the operation cost of airlines. He emphasized on the continued trend of the weakening of Indian rupees against US dollars and going up of air turbine fuel or ATF prices. The SpiceJet chairman further stressed on the multiple ATF price hikes within a year and said aviation turbine fuel prices have increased by more than 120% since June 2021. Singh urged the government to reduce taxes on jet fuel, saying that the aviation fuel price hikes are a burden on the airline companies. The massive increase in ATF is not sustainable and government, both central and state, need to take urgent action to reduce taxes on ATF. We in the last few months have tried to absorb as much burden of this fuel price rise, which constitutes more than 50% of our operational cost, he said. Singh further highlighted the issue of the weakening of rupees against dollars. The weakening of the Indian rupee against the USD significantly impacts airlines as our substantial cost is either dollar denominated or pegged to the dollar, he said. The number of monkeypox cases in Britain exceeded 500 cases on Wednesday, according to the latest official figures. The UK Health Security Agency said it detected 52 additional monkeypox cases in England, one in Scotland and one in Wales, raising the total confirmed number of cases in Britain to 524 as of Tuesday. There are 504 confirmed cases in England, 13 in Scotland, 2 in Northern Ireland and 5 in Wales, the UK HSE said. David Heyman, Professor of Infectious Disease Epidemiology at London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, said the following. It is important not to jump to conclusions or stigmatize certain groups or individuals. Although the overall risk appears to be small, everyone should remain vigilant as public health agencies work to contain this outbreak because monkeypox has the potential to affect anyone exposed with close contact to someone who has the infection, Heyman said. With the Union Cabinet approving the proposal to conduct a spectrum auction, India is soon to get a strong ecosystem for the launch of 5G services, which is likely to be about 10 times faster than 4G. To boost digital connectivity, the Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has approved the proposal of the Department of Telecommunications to conduct a spectrum auction through which spectrum will be assigned to the successful bidders for providing 5G services to public and enterprises. IT Minister Ashwin Vaishnaw said that 5G spectrum auction is the beginning of a new era for the Indian telecom. According to the centre, the 5G test bed set up in 8 top technology institutes of India is speeding up the launch of domestic 5G technology in India. The PLI, or production-linked incentive schemes for mobile handsets, telecom equipments and the launch of the India Semiconductor Mission is expected to help build a strong ecosystem for the launch of 5G services in the country. Spectrum is an integral and necessary part of the entire 5G ecosystem. The centre believes the upcoming 5G services have the potential to create new age businesses, generate additional revenues for enterprises, and provide employment arising from the deployment of innovative use cases and technologies. It is expected that the mid and high band spectrum will be utilized by telecom service providers to roll out 5G technology-based service capable of providing speed and capacities which would be about 10 times higher than what is possible through the current 4G services. The spectrum auction will be benefited from the telecom sector reforms announced in September 2021. The reforms include zero spectrum usage charges on the spectrum acquired in the upcoming auction, providing significant relief to the service providers in terms of the operating cost of telecom networks. Continuing the pace of telecom sector reforms, the Cabinet announced various progressive options with regard to the spectrum to be acquired by bidders through the forthcoming spectrum auction for facilitating ease of doing business. The Union Cabinet also decided to enable the development and setting up of private captive networks to spur a new wave of innovations in Industry 4.0 applications such as machine-to-machine communications, Internet of Things or IoT, and artificial intelligence across automotive, healthcare, agriculture, energy, and other sectors. Those were the international stories. With that, we'll take a short break and we'll be back with the sports news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the sports stories. Germany recorded a first ever competitive victory against Italy in considerable style to kickstart their UEFA Nations League campaign and leapfrog their opponents in Group A3 on Tuesday. Hosts defeated European champion Italy 5-2 at Borussia Park. Germany, hoping to build on a run of 4 successive draws, started the brighter and could have taken the lead in the 7th minute, but Leroy Sané's curling effort from the edge of the box flew just wide. It was Germany who struck first, Joshua Kimmich coolly converting David Raum's low centre from the left. The Azzurri started the second half purposefully, Brian Crescent unable to cap a neat passing move, but any hopes of a comeback were effectively extinguished in the 51st minute, Thomas Muller's half volley flying just out of the reach of Donnarumma to open up a 3-goal cushion. One bright spot for Robert Mancini's men has been the recent emergence of Wilfred Jonto. The latter was also involved in added time, delivering the corner from which Bastoni headed in Italy's second, but Germany had already done more than that. Germany beat Italy in a competitive match for the first time at the 11th attempt. Die Mannschaft also scored 4 or more goals against Italy in competitive fixture for the first time. Pakistani opener Imam-ul-Haq has surpassed Virat Kohli to get to the second spot in the ICC One-Day International Batter Rankings. The Southpaw was earlier in third place in the rankings, just below his captain Babar Azam and the former Indian skipper Virat Kohli. A brilliant performance in the home series has brought him 4 points clear of Kohli at number 2, a career best ranking for him. Imam inspired Pakistan to clean sweep West Indies 3-0 in the recent ODI series at home, smashing 3 half-centuries. His form was duly rewarded as he won the Player of the Series award and made a move on the latest rankings that were released on Wednesday. The 26-year-old jumped a massive 20 ratings points to move in front of Kohli and now has a career best marking of 815 rating points. That is of course still well behind Babar's mark of 892, with the Pakistan captain holding his massive lead at the top of the ODI batter rankings following his 17th ODI century in the first match against West Indies. Kohli, who was only second to Babar in the rankings, now sits at the third spot with 811 points, just above India's current ODI captain Rohit Sharma. There were some other minor moves in the top 10, with Aaron Finch going to 9th spot as his Australia teammate David Warner dropped to 10th, while England's Johnny Bairstow fell 2 places to 8th and South Africa's Rassie van der Dusen hopped a spot to 7th. Pakistan pacer Shaheen Afridi jumped 2 places to 4th following his good series with the ball against West Indies. New Zealand fast bowler Trent Boult remains on top of the bowler rankings, but Australia's seamer Josh Hazlewood and Kiwi teammate Matt Henry are closing in after they jumped 1 spot to 2nd and 3rd respectively. England pacer Chris Woakes was out of the top 5 as he fell 4 spots to equal 6th, tied with Mujibur Rahman after the Afghanistan spinner rose 2 places. In the rankings for all-rounders, the biggest mover is Oman's Zishan Maqsood, jumping 13 places to 10th following a string of outstanding performances in the ICC Cricket World Cup League 2 action. The experienced 34-year-old scored an unbeaten century against Nepal earlier this month and then backed that up with a 4-wicket haul with the ball in Oman's match against the USA. Those are the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.